Hi friend, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to pleat and prep the sari for draping. So just the Pallu pleats, I'm gonna show you the quickest, fastest method that's gonna get you draping all of your saris in a minute. The biggest tip I can give you before you start pleating your Pallu is to iron the entire sari. It will make the entire process easier and quicker and just more effortless. Once you've ironed the sari, you want to determine how long you want the Pallu. So I would say put it over your shoulder, and because I'm pleating it, I make it a little bit longer than I normally would if I was to hang the Pallu. So I'm just going to put it over my shoulder and then determine the length that I want and then mark that length and start pleating. Once you've laid the Pallu over the ironing board, you want to kind of just determine the width of the Pallu that you'd like. And so I like it to basically be the entire width of my shoulder. So like not go over my shoulder, but if you want super wide pleats, just keep that in mind for when you pick up the fabric. So the first pleat, all I'm gonna do is, determine, okay, like that's the width I want, and it's about the width of the border here. And so I'm gonna pick up the sari just above the border and lay it over the next layer and creating my first pleat. And then you're just gonna repeat that process right up until you get to the other end of the sari. What I'd like to do once I have a few pleats is pin them down. The reason for this is because, as you can see, this sari, has a tendency to kind of fall. This one's actually better than most, but you don't wanna lose your hard work as you progress through pleating. So I just like to pin them down as I go, not to lose the pleats that I've already done. So what I'm doing here is I'm just fanning out all the pleats. The only rule of Pallu pleating is that the rest of the pleats on this side should not stick out. So this first pleat should be the widest, and it should not have any other pleats sticking out here. And when I realized that that was the only rule I really had to follow to make the Pallu look good, that's when I really started embracing pleating my own Pallu, because literally I would take all of my saris to my mom to make her pleat it. They don't all have to be the same size. The sooner you let go of that expectation of your pleats, the sooner you're going to get better at Pallu pleating and actually enjoy the process. So I'm actually putting an extra pin here, and what this is gonna allow me to do is iron so much quicker. I find that when you add another pin, other than the 2 points that you were using to pleat, it just makes for an easier, quicker ironing process. Once you're happy with the pleats, you wanna just iron everything in place. Once you get to that last safety pin, what you want to do is fan out the pleats, because it's the part that's going to go on your chest. For some saris, it's not necessary because the fabric is nice and malleable and it kind of stays. But as you can see, this is pretty puffy, so I like to iron them all down so they look nice and neat. And then we get to my favorite part, which is sealing in all of your hard work. So what I like to do to get rid of that stark contrast between the pressed pleats and the non-pressed part of the sari is I like to kind of just put my iron down and then gradually pick up. And look at these gorgeous pleats and the Pallu. You can take off the pins when you are done draping. I just like to keep it on while I'm draping so the pleats stay together. But because you ironed it, they will stay and the folds will be intact and you don't have to worry about those pleats coming undone. I can't believe that I, for so long, stayed away from pleating my own Pallu, and I would always ask my mom. But this method, along with that need for perfection and letting go of, that idea that all of the pleats had to be the same width, has really changed my Pallu pleating game, and I assure you, you'll be able to do the same. So I hope you give it a try. If you found this useful, give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments below, subscribe, and I will see you in a future video.